Alright, hi guys, welcome to PADCast. I'm Cinestra, and with me today is Shen.
Hello.
We're going to be talking about the Thor and Sarya leader pairing today. So first, we have Awoken Thor. He's a light blue attribute, and his active skill is light and water attribute attack ×2 for 2 turns, and he reduces the cooldown of other skills by 1 turn. His leader skill does light attribute cards ×2.5 attack and RCV, and also light attribute cards ×1.3 on a turn a skill is used. His awakenings are 3 light rose, 2 skill boosts, 2 skill bind resist, and 1 heart orb enhance. His light rows really dictate that most of his team will be light row oriented.
Alright, and his pairing is Dragon Claw, Horn, Dragon Bone, Saria. So, her active is change all orbs to fire, light, and heart orbs, and reduces the other skills cooldown by 1 turn. And her leader skill is light attribute cards 2 times health and 2.5 times attack. And also, light attributes gain 1.3 times attack when a skill is used, just like Thor. And Saria has 5 awakenings, which is 2 rows, 1 2-prong, 1 time extend, and 1 skill boost.
Alright, so yeah, we're going to talk about the general strategies now, so Shen, you can do that. I'm lazy.
Alright, so basically, their overall added up stats is 6.25 times attack, 2 times health, and 2.5 times recovery. So basically, it's a team of low damage with high health and high recovery. So it's more like a grinding team, not like your super bursty kind of team. It's like pretty much the opposite. But these are special because if you use a skill, they gain 1.3 times attack. And also, if you use 4 active, add on top of that with 2 times, you have a huge amount of burst, surprisingly. And you focus on rows on subs, and you can do some 2-prongs, but mostly rows, because the leaders have 5 rows combined already. So you might as well take advantage of the 5 rows they have.
Yeah. I think also rows do a lot more damage if you stack a lot of them, which these subs basically want to do a lot. Next, let's talk about the subs for Thor and Sarya. So one thing to really keep in mind is that they really value light rows. They also obviously really value light main attribute cards, so that should be really kept in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is they want orb changers, and specifically ones that can fix boards such as Apocalypse and Saria. So for subs, I think 2 staples right off the bat are Apocalypse and Dao Chow. Apocalypse and Dao Chow are like amazing together because Dao Chow by herself, she can make hearts and light orbs, which is great, and she also has I think 2 light rows. And Apocalypse is great because he makes a similar kind of board to Saria, and he also gives haze. Apocalypse's board is a little bit better than Sarya's board because his dark orbs can be fixed by Dao Chow, so that's really helpful. So under highly recommended, we have Raphael, who has like 5 row enhances, which is like insane. And he also has a 2-turn shield, and he also gives you a full board of heart orbs, so you can heal up really nicely. Also under that list is Apollo, because his active allows you to create a ton of light orbs, so you can make a ton of rows, and he also has 2 rows on him. Also under highly recommended are Chibi and Normal Valk. They're on a short 5-turn cooldown, so even though they don't have any rows, they can create a lot of light orbs really quickly, and also they can fix both Apocalypse and Sarya boards. For recommended, we have Fuma, Sun Wukong, Ilum, Awoken Venus, Baal, Nordis, and Shadar. Fuma is pretty good. He has really high HP. His only problem is that like changing green orbs isn't the greatest because he can't fix any boards. Sun Wukong's also a really good sub, just like Dao Chow, except he can't fix any Apocalypse or Saria boards. He basically only turns the dark orbs into heart orbs, which doesn't really help out your Dao Chow board. Oh, another good thing about Dao Chow is that she's not a god type, but she also has a bind clear in her awakenings, so that can really help you out for bind clears in arena. Anyways, we also have Ilum. He's good because he creates a 2-color board, which allows you to make a lot of light rows. He also has a light row on himself. Awoken Venus is alright. I mean, she has 3 light rows, and she enhances all light orbs, but honestly, her active could be better.
You don't need to enhance it on the team since we already have Awoken 4.
Yeah.
And his active lasts for 2 turns.
Yeah,
so
you really don't need it.
Really need it.
Yeah, but she still has 3 light rows, so that's always helpful. Ball,
Yeah.
let's just hope he gets better in a new evolution soon. Nordis is also pretty good because he has some rows, and he has a gravity, which can be helpful in arena again. Shadar is alright because he makes a row of light orbs, and he also gives haste. I think he has like 2 light rows also, so that's pretty good. And for utility, we have Indra, which I'm not sure if you really need that because you're probably going to have a ton of health anyways. Amaterasu, which is really good for mind clears, and then also Awoken Sakuya.
Alright. So let's move on into the pros and cons of these guys together. So start with the pros.
So for some pros, they have great access to utilities such as Awoken Amaterasu, Indra, Elmeta, Raphael, unlike I&I and Ryune. Yeah.
Because Saria and Thor, they don't have any tight disadvantages because light and dark, they have no weaknesses. They only have colors that they do well against. Compared to the other ones, they have weaknesses, like I&I and Ryune, who are weak to grass.
Yeah. You could also say that Saria and Thor are weak to Zayrod, but I mean, they're a stall team anyways with a lot of HP and a lot of RCV, so they can easily overcome stuff like that.
They also have really nice farmable subs, like Light Valkyrie, Versh, Defound, like the other ones are pretty hard to get, but Light Valk and Versh are very, very easy to get, generally.
Zeus and Hera is also really great for Arena as well.
Yeah.
Their teams for Arena, they generally need less MP because you don't need to buy a Marionette, which can be a big factor for some people. So another pro is Saria and Thor have a ton of rows thanks to Raphael. They have like around 15. I think that's probably more than Ryune and I&I. Another good pro is that they have a really good source of heart orbs from their active because around like 4-6 of their subs will make hearts. Like Saria makes hearts, Apocalypse makes hearts, Dao Chao makes hearts, Raphael makes hearts. So yeah.
Alright, so let's move on to the cons.
Yeah, so why don't you cover that, Shen?
Alright, so basically, they don't have an unbinder, or like they do have an unbinder, but like generally the unbinders don't have rows like Awoken Sakuya and Matarasu. They have 2 prongs instead.
Yeah.
And they don't have a Marionette, but that's not really a con, but it's still something
to consider. Yeah.
Yeah, because the I&I and Ryune team also uses it as well.
Yeah.
And their board changes are pretty bad. Like Apocalypse, yeah, he's fine. His active is fine. But except it's like his awakenings aren't the greatest compared to the other subs.
Yeah, like Awoken Karen, his awakenings are really lacking compared to that.
Yeah, and the team overall lacks consistent high damage because the best teams out there are the ones that could do a high amount of damage each turn. While these guys, they're more of the opposite. They stall and then they make a huge burst.
Yeah.
Us.
Also, Apocalypse is just ugly. Hopefully, we'll get like some type of update to him. But yeah. Oh, right. We can cover the arena team, Thor and Sarya.
You could do the honors. You could do it.
The general arena team for Thor and Sarya is Thor, Apocalypse, Dao Chao, Apollo, and Raphael. Now you can use Zeus and Hera instead of Raphael. Zeus and Hera would be easier to deal with the Kali at the end, but I personally like Raphael because he helps you a lot with his 5 rows, and his shield's pretty useful too. I think you're generally going to have, with this team Hypermax, you're going to have around like 51k HP and like 10k RCV, which is like insane. You also have 15 light rows, and you also have 5 skill bind resist.
You're just unskill bindable basically.
Yeah. You should also note that if one of your subs gets bound, then you lose the skill bind resist, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I like this team because you have Apocalypse and Dao Chao. So Dao Chao can work fine by herself and Apocalypse can work fine by himself, but his board can be fixed with Dao Chao. Also for Apollo, I like how he can make like a ton of light orbs, and if needed he can also fix Saria's board. I think just the plain fact of creating a ton of light orbs is really good anyways, just because you'll be able to make multiple rows with that. And then Raphael's there because his great shield and his his 5 rows. Also you can use, if you have Dao Chao up, Unbound, then you can just use Raphael's active to clear binds, because the 2 bind clear awakenings. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So generally, Thor and Sarya, they're more of a like patient, slow kind of gameplay, because they could stall, they could tank, they could burst, like not consistently like the super strong ways out there like Raw, Kali, but they have what they don't, which is super high health and super high recovery.
Yeah. But when they do burst, they burst pretty hard, I think. I forget. But it's like usually if you do like Apocalypse into Dao Chao and you make like 3 light rows, you probably do like a ton of damage.
Yeah. The main weakness of his team is just the fact that everything is bindable. And unbinding is kind of rare, because usually when your team gets bound, usually everyone gets bound, or like important key subs. Usually you're trying to survive over matching 6 hearts.
I think probably the worst, in order of like terrible things to get bound, on the top of the list is like either Saria or Thor, because if they get bound then they lose their RCV or HP multiplier, which is really bad for stalling. The next worst thing to get bound is either probably Raphael or Dao Chao, because Raphael would give you a 2-turn shield, and then Dao Chao would
is your only source of unbind, basically.
Yeah, wait, I think there's another one. Who else has unbind? No, because this team has two bind recovers.
Wait, which one are you talking? Oh, Raphael does.
Oh, yeah, so if either Raphael or Dao Chao get bound, then that's pretty bad too.
Alright.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I also just don't like Apocalypse on the team. Everyone looks solid on the team except for Apocalypse. He gives like a great board, but I really don't like his awakenings. I don't like his art either. It's pretty bad.
Alright. So
yeah.
So alright, so that's our Thor and Sarya guide. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.
See ya.